and this will not take long, guys. You have that best practices presentation that you have to give at the final follow-up on April, whatever that was, 5th or whatever. And it's going to be like no more than 5 minutes because every person's going to have to do something. Did we say, no, that every person's going to have to present something, so we don't have any more time than 5 minutes for sure. One of the things that the professors are going to focus on is not only content knowledge, but best practices in the classroom. Best practices for classroom management. Best practices for teaching and reteaching. Best practices for assessment. Best practices for transitioning from one type of activity to another. So if you, throughout the year, you may already know, I do a best practice in my classroom. I know the way I do this is awesome. I want you to brag on yourself. You should think, or you shouldn't be teaching. Don't think you're doing awesome things. Please get out of the classroom. Because you do awesome things, or you want to be doing it day in, day out. So we thought this would be a great way for us just to share. How do you assess at the end of a chapter or the end of a lesson? How do you know when those kids walk out your door, they got it? The majority of them. What do you do when they're walking out the door and you know that was a flop? What's your best practice when they come back in and you have to reteach something to them? So you're going to get up and share something with us. It could be discipline procedures. It can be parental contact. This is how I keep my parents in the loop of what's going on in my classroom. I feel this is a best practice. You're going to get up and share something with the whole group that we can use because that's what we're all about, is helping each other become better teachers, more effective for the kids and for the families. So that's all you're going to do on that last day. You're just going to stand up. You can have a presentation if you want. You can have handouts. If it's something hard copy that you use with kids or with parents, then share that with us. And so you can hand things out. You can do a short activity if you want to model the practice that you use in your classroom. But you have the whole year to think, at least until April, what am I going to share with the group that I really think this works for me? Works for my age level of kids that I teach, the subject that I teach, that maybe it can help someone else as well. And I know every single one of you have more than one. And I've been in many of your classrooms and know that you have a lot of things you do really well. So brag on yourself, because I know you guys are great teachers. And I've said many, many times, teachers are always my heroes. My biggest heroes are teachers. And what make them my heroes is seeing the great things you do with kids. So that's going to be my absolute favorite day of the whole year, when you get to stand up and share things that you do, because I may have to go back to the classroom someday. And I'm going to be making notes of things that really you feel that work in your class. So just be thinking about that, not something to stress out about or get nervous about. It's something just to share with each other. Debbie, anything to add that I've forgotten about that? And the professors are here to help you with that during that last 15 minutes of the day. If you want to ask them, you know, what's some best things you do that I can take and adapt and try in my class this year, then I want to use that. If you see Dr. Parrott or Sergeant or Crystal do something that you think, that's an awesome practice in the classroom. I think, and not that she's any better than anyone else, but I think Dr. Parrott's probably the best teacher I've ever watched. The way she interacts with people, when you guys may give an incorrect answer, the way she responds, she makes you think it's correct. It's amazing how she responds in such an encouraging manner. So if you see one of them do something, you think, that's awesome. Take it to your room, practice it with your kids, and then stand up and share that. So it can be something you steal from someone else as well. That's really what they're here for, and what we talk to them about, is that they're modeling the classroom behavior that you guys should be doing with students. And I think all three of them do a great job modeling that. Of course, I love Dr. Parrott because she teaches math, but it's not the only reason. Okay, anything else, Debbie? Or Debbie? I said I could do that very quickly. It's not painful. I don't want anyone to be stressed out because you have to stand up in front of everyone. Make an iMovie trailer about it, and then you just stand here. There you go. I didn't say you couldn't. It's open. How you present it, it is up to you entirely. Okay, if you need help with iMovie, Edmodo, or Evernote, stay. Or